So 3 months ago, I ended up meeting this guy at a cafe, and we said that we're going to, in 3 months, we're going to see each other overseas, and we're going to go for it, and we're going to do YouTube full time. For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Phil Gregov, and I do YouTube full time, educational content creator, and I'll let this man introduce himself.
Guys, so thanks for tuning in to another video. So we met 3 months ago, unexpectedly. I remember I watched one of Phil's videos on YouTube, and I saw the video, and I'm like, damn, this is exactly what I'm going through at the time. It was like he was saying all the things that I was thinking, but wasn't saying, right? And then just like I reached out, and he got back to me, and then it just started from there. We're like, oh, let's catch up. We went to a cafe. I think it was like Oakley, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Oakley. It's like a Greek joint in Melbourne. Like heaps of people out there for cafe. Just so paint a picture. People everywhere. That kind of setup.
Yeah, and I remember this precisely, right? We were there, and like you told me what you wanted to do, and I'm thinking in my head, this is like what I wanted to do as well. But I was always so scared to pull the trigger on making this move because I'd worked in a blue-collar job for the last 10 years of my life as a sparky, electrician, construction. You've been working in construction.
Yeah, so just for reference, I've been in 18 years in construction. I did carpentry, started domestic apprenticeship, and then I worked all my way up into commercial. And Jake, the reason why I was drawn to him is we had that many similarities. We've both been in trade. We're doing kind of things that aren't fulfilling. And what kind of drew me to him as well is that he was doing YouTube as well. I think he just started. He's just getting a little bit of traction. And guys, he's going crazy at the moment, which is awesome. And it was always going to happen. But we will get to that, guys. But he seemed to just look after himself. When I saw him, he just had awesome physical presence, good energy. And we literally just had the same struggles. And we were kind of at the same stage where we were just talking about it. We were always just talking about it. And we kind of figured out that we seem to always be talking to people about it at work. And that's the thing, guys. Like, in 3 months, you can fully change, like, your whole environment. If you literally drown out the noise, you put tunnel vision on, you put the blinkers on, and you get around people that tell you that it is possible. They actually can give you the permission. Like, if you're not giving yourself the permission right now, they can give it for you as well because they're on the same page. They're aligned. Sometimes you just want that one person at work to say, you know what? Yeah, go for it. Like, it just never seemed to happen. That's why it's super important to kind of network and get around people. What do you reckon, Jake?
Yeah, definitely, man. I remember, like you said, I'd speak to most people at work. Now, the common thing I'd always get feedback was, oh, it's a great job. Why would you leave? It pays such good money. It's secure. It's safe. And every time I thought, okay, they're giving me this feedback. It's logical, right? It sounds logical.
Yeah.
Work at this job, pay your mortgage, do the status quo life. You get a consistent, whatever, 100, 150K, 180K if you work overtime. But I thought to myself, okay, is this what you actually want? Is this like, because every time you use logic in your brain, logic keeps you safe, right? It's like, logic is...
Yeah. 100. No, let's keep going. I agree.
So this part of your brain that uses logic, it goes, how can I stay safe? How can I keep a roof over my head? How can I put food on the table? But is that actually true to who you are? Is it true to what your heart wants? And when you listen to what your heart wants, it's not logical. It doesn't make sense. You don't know how it's going to happen. Like when we met 3 months ago, I didn't know how I was going to end up in Thailand. I don't know how I was going to make the most money I've ever made online in my entire life here. I didn't know it was going to work out like this. But all I purely did was I got in that headspace, that mental vibration of this is what I want. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know why, but this is what I want and it's going to happen. And I went all in on it, and I literally left a job that pays me a secure 180K a year to go to potentially zero, right? Potentially zero.
That's it.
And I've still got commitments back at home. It's not like, I didn't come from wealth.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't come from a millionaire family. But I did it, and it's truly trusting the process, trusting yourself, trusting the universe.
That's it. 100%. I can't agree more with that. I'm telling you guys, like for reference as well, guys, like think about logic. So you work 35, 40 years of your best years, thinking about something, knowing that you're in a vehicle that you shouldn't be, and it's fully reinforced by everyone else. You wake up, you go through the rat race, you give your best time, your best energy, your best vitality, best everything, hours of the day, to come back wrecked, to go do it again. Maybe you're scrolling, you're consuming or whatever, and you just get in this vicious cycle. Put that with a shitload of consumer debt or whatever, and that's the reality. That's where maybe a lot of you guys are sitting in as well. But how logical is it to spend your best years of your life with potentially like the chance of enjoying it at 60, 65 if your body isn't wrecked? Now, for like construction's like really bad for that, guys. Like maybe you're in a blue collar job, maybe you can resonate with this. You're sitting at home, you're like, yeah, maybe my elbow's gone or whatever, and you're thinking this 30, 40, what do you think's going to happen at 60 or whatever? The whole save and do it later or whatever, that's old school mentality, guys, and it is a new world now. There are a lot of people, don't get me wrong, it is kind of glorified on social media. You think that a lot of people are killing it. Not as many as you think that they are, but there is a new system. You need to spend. You need to pay attention. You need to think of money differently and use it as a tool, not something. Money's kind of like, it's kind of like shit, guys, you know. If you pile it up, you know, it's going to stink. But if you spread it, it grows, all right?
That's very true, yeah.
That's exactly how your mindset that it needs to be, like, that you need to have towards it. But logic and that whole thing of, you might need to reframe logic in a kind of totally different kind of way. What do you reckon?
100%. So like you said with money, right? I was always money, saving. I would never let money out to flow. I would never invest in mentors, coaches, things like that, because I'd value money so high. And because I valued money so high, I thought money was scarce. And in that scarcity mindset, what do you think that did when I was trying to get money? Money was scared of me. Like, I was scared to lose money, so money was scared to come to me, right?
Yep.
So then, like, I'd watch a lot of YouTube videos and, like, a lot of these online things, and I thought, like, these online gurus, if you want to call it that, I'm like, oh, it's just bullshit, it's crap. Until I realized you don't know what you don't know. And I went in blindly, and I thought, okay, maybe there is some truth to this. Let's start diverting some money down different pathways. And when I'd spent money on a mentor, that money came back to me just as quick as I'd spent it, like through different avenues. It wasn't like, it didn't come back to me in the way I thought it was going to come back, but it may have come back in like an old investment I'd made or an old crypto, stocks, coaching.
Get rich on crypto, guys.
Yeah, multiple streams of income. But it didn't come back the way I thought it would, but it came back regardless. But like, touching on like blue collar workers, right? A common response I'd get from guys when I told them I was going to do this, they'd say to me, "Oh, I want to do that too. It sounds mad, but I don't know what I do. And I would say to them, how do you expect to know what you're going to do if your mind is tied to your job 24/7? If you go to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, how do you expect to free like that space of your mind up to be creative enough to realize what you actually want to do? You need to buy yourself the time, buy yourself that window. But most people are scared to do that, right?
Yep.
They don't want to take the risk to take a month away out of work and actually delve into their minds to think, what do they actually want? What do you want? Like, if you ask these guys on construction, what do you actually want? They won't know. They'll just tell you, I just want to pay my house up. That's the response to 99% of guys say.
They give you an answer of what everyone else reinforcing around them has told them. They think that they are going backwards by potentially going backwards short term with like a little bit of financial security and the stability. You don't understand how much vitality and how much just all around mental, like you lose that much mental bandwidth in an environment that you don't want to have, and it puts you in this pain, guys. It puts you in this pain that I felt for years. Now, my pain was that I was misaligned, guys. You know, sometimes you might be in this vehicle that you're doing right now. Just think about it. Are you in alignment? Does that put you in flow state? Do you actually light up? Is that something that you can genuinely go to and work on for hours a day without even looking at the time? See, when you make it about other people and you start creating and you start challenging yourself, all that anxiety that you might feel day to day goes away. And I felt that for the longest time, guys, because I was misaligned. But talk about pain, Jakey. Have you got? Yeah, man. What sort of stuff were you going through?
Like, your environment impacts you much more than you realize. Like the people around you that you work with, nicest people. You can work with the nicest people, but if they're not happy, if the environment you're in is not supporting your growth, it's so detrimental, especially during these prime years of your life. If you're 20, 30, 40, like, these are the growth years, man. These are the times where you literally sacrifice to grow. But if you're going to stay in that environment where it's going to be detrimental, you're losing so much. Like, your cost, like the sunken cost fallacy here. So I've done this job for like 5 to 10 years. I've built up a good reputation, and you don't want to lose that in your company, right? Or lose your reputation. But what's it actually costing you in the long run? Okay, I earn whatever, this X amount of dollars here, but I'm losing potentially millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, whatever. I'm just talking hypothetically.
Yeah.
What's it actually costing you by being in that environment all the time?
Yep.
That's the true cost. It's not like people don't realize that. And if you're in that bubble for so long and you're in this environment, you're never going to think outside the bubble. You're never going to think outside because you don't get the opportunity to. You only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know. Until you leave and you network with people outside of that bubble, you really open your eyes up to what's possible. You'll blow your mind. Your mind will be like, what the hell is this? Like, it's like you start playing like your life with cheat codes. It's like, remember Grand Theft Auto, that video game?
100%.
And you put cheat codes on, like you spawn
100%.
infinite money, you spawn the tank. Your life becomes like that, bro.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's funny. But what do you think? Like, I don't know.
100%. The best bit of advice that I can give you is if you do not want to, like, think about the people that give you advice. They might think the best. Like, they might have the best of intentions. If you can objectively look at it and go, what, you want to end up at 65, still paying your house off, overweight, kids don't respect them, their missus doesn't want them or whatever. How is that success? How is that success, and how is that good for your mental health and well-being, knowing that you literally left that much off the table? I'm telling you guys, never ever take advice of someone from a position that you don't want to be. And if you say, I don't know what I want to be or what to do, whatever, here is your main job and this is what you should be doing. Build the best possible version of you and go give that person to the world.
So you're in pain right now. You've been doing this for however many years. It might be 5 years, it might be 10 years. And you think, when's enough? When is the right time to pull the trigger and to do what you really want to do? I can tell you right now, there's no perfect time. I always thought, once I hit X amount of dollars, that's going to be my sign to do it. It never worked like that for me. I'm pretty sure it didn't work like that for you. What I did, I literally just set a date and a time. I think I might have even flipped a coin on it. I had like a couple dates in my mind, and I'm like, if it lands on heads, I'm going to go and set my date this day. And that's what it did. I flipped the coin, it went on this date, and that's what I did. I didn't look back. So I booked my flights. I landed in Thailand, and literally the rest was history. I didn't concern myself with how's this going to work? How's it going to work? How's it going to work? All I knew is what I wanted, and I literally had blind faith and trust that the universe would provide exactly how it was all going to happen. That's not our job, right? I'm not going to go like too spiritual, too deep into this now, but I can tell you now, there's higher things at play here. I'll give you a little story. When right before we started to record this video, I've got my camera, you've got your camera here.
Yep.
And we checked the time on our cameras, right? How much time we had left on recording. Mine was 1:47 because we were trying to determine whose camera we should use. You turn on yours said 1:47. Yeah. And we're like, these are the subtle hints to show you that there is something greater going on. And you're not meant to have it all figured out. All you need to do is make a decision, go ahead with the action, take action, set the date, and boom, go.
So I couldn't agree with you more, Jakey. And I'll tell you right now, your mind is your best and your worst enemy. Think about everything that you've achieved in your life and whatever, and you thought that was a good idea, whatever. Your mind sometimes plays the biggest tricks on you. All it wants to know is, am I comfortable or am I... No, if I'm not comfortable, better stop it. Pain and pleasure is the only thing that ever motivates us. You just literally need to ignore it, because sometimes it's your own worst enemy. You set a date. I picked a date, and this is the thing. Like, there's always just a little bit more, and then just a little bit more, bit more. It's never enough. Like, the amount of money potentially that I've missed out on, perceived loss short term to make this happen, I don't care. It's not about that. It's a lot of money, guys, but it's not about that. Sometimes you just need to commit and set a date. It's kind of, like Jakey was saying, we both turned on the cameras same time. We're just meant to be super aligned. Sometimes the universe, it's not going to full tell you that, hey, bro, this is what you do, but the path illuminates along the way. If your conscience is telling you to do it, you don't feel anxious, you get put into flow state. That is exactly what you need to, where you need to be, right? Now, key actions that made us change. This is the thing. We thought about the consequences of taking action to change your life. So if you're sitting on the fence or whatever, there are consequences, guys. The biggest one is failing in front of other people. That hurts the ego, guys. It sucks to know that you were wrong, to come back sometimes with your head between your tails, like your tail between your legs, and just to go, And people to go, you know what? See, he didn't try. That justifies everything that I didn't want to do in my life. And you go, you know what? That's the reason why I didn't want to do it. Because see, Phil couldn't do it. Jakey couldn't do it. That is the hardest part to get over. It's the fear of failure, not just to ourselves, but in front of other people. That stopped me for years, guys. And I'm telling you guys that just remember, the people that are holding you back, like right now, we're looking into the camera. We don't know who's looking at this. You're probably legends because you're watching both of us, which is fair enough. But like, we don't know who you guys are, whatever. But you guys have got opinions. If we worried about every single one of your opinions, or think about that one person. When I'm saying this, who's that one person that's stopping you? Just know that people do come and go in your life. And I hate to be pretty brutal with this, and someday they're going to pass, right? And their opinions are going to go with them. But you're going to be there, like they're with your life. And to think that you didn't take action through imaginary evils that you couldn't see through this camera or whatever, like that, you guys, that's a big opportunity cost. Like you're missing out on a lot, you know, worrying about the opinions. You can't control what other people think, you know, and that's what stopped me for ages. I don't know.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, right, you'll agree with this. Anyone who is ahead of you in life, anyone who's above you, not take the risk. Anyone who is at your level or below you will tell you, don't take the risk, don't take the risk. The reason this is, right, there's a thing called the crabs in a bucket theory. When one crab tries to get out of the bucket and escape, all the other crabs pull him back down. Because no one, as harsh and rude as this sounds, people around you don't want to see you succeed. And the reason why is, don't take it personally, but they don't want to see you doing better than them, because that's a reflection and it shows them that they couldn't take the risk. They never had the balls to do this. And it just proves it to them how much of a failure they are by you succeeding.
That's right.
That's the biggest thing I've noticed.
Absolutely right. And people that are winning, they can only see how it is going to work. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and the thing is that's kind of Western cultures and stuff like that, you know, talk about, yeah, they want you to do well, just not better than them. And that sucks. But what they don't understand is that when you start winning, you can bring other people up. All boats rise in the tide. You're not calling people out. You're calling them up. People genuinely get better. Once we started committing to this and getting around other people, whatever, don't you think that we've elevated and like turbocharged ourselves, you know what I mean, through this positive abundance environment? Now, this leads into the next thing, right? Think about the consequences if you don't do this, right? Like, think about the consequences of doing it. All right, cool. You might fail. You know, someone might see it. You might fail. Okay. Now, what happens when you don't do it? Like, regret's a slow burn. Like, you don't feel it today. You might not feel it day after, a week after, whatever. But it comes, you know what I'm saying? Like, the consequences, like, you think you're going to respawn. You're talking about GTA. You think you're going to respawn? Well, you think you're coming back here? Like, right now is the youngest you're ever going to be. With the amount of energy, with less, like, mistakes, like things holding you down. Like, right now is the time. Think about if you don't take, you are the healthiest and the youngest that you'll ever be right now. So, like, putting it off and stuff like that, and I'll do it in 10 years, that's ultimate scam. Like, you need to move. Speed loves success, guys. I'm saying, the consequence of doing it is regret. What do you reckon?
Definitely. That was one of my biggest pain movers, man. My pain points was that. I thought to myself, if I don't do this now, I'm only getting older. I'm getting more and more commitments in my life. You have like a runway to success. Imagine like a plane's taking off. And the older you get, the shorter this runway gets. And the less chance the plane is going to get off the ground and to succeed. So if you don't do it now, when are you really going to do it? And that was my pain. I would look at everyone around me. I'd even look at my family. I'd look at my dad and I look at their lives. I'd go, if I continue down the status quo path, I know exactly where it leads. But if I turn right and go off the beaten track, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what, but I know that's where my heart is telling me. That's where your desire takes you. And I couldn't stand the thought of doing the same thing for another 30, 40, 50 years of my life. The pain of that is unbearable. Like, just thinking about it now. Working underground in construction, breathing in concrete dust. Man, that fuck. I don't know how I even did it for so long. Like, come to think of it, I don't know how I did it, and I don't know how people still do it. And I get it. Like, I do get it. It's extremely scary, right? Because you're in the bubble for so long. You've got these set of beliefs that are programmed in your mind over the last 10 years, and they're so solidified.
And everyone's doing it around you too.
Yeah,
like, I get it. Like, it feels comfortable. Like, you feel part of the crowd. Like, it's hard to do your own thing. You know what I mean? Because we're pack animals, you know what I mean? Like, we like being in part of like a crowd, like a pride.
Yeah. And then what clicked in my mind was, if I don't do even if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. And the second thing was, if I do this and I fail, what is the worst case here? What do? I just go back to what I was doing. It's so much easier to go back to what you're doing
Yeah, 100%.
than to level up. It's like, just say if it takes you 10 years to make $1 million, right? I guarantee if you lose that million, the next million will only take you 1 year.
Yeah.
It will happen so much quicker. It's like what you've got now. Just say if you've got a house and whatever, if you lose it all, to get that back will happen way quicker than what it took you to initially get it, because you've done the path now. You know how to do it.
So fear's a big one, guys. The worst things that have ever happened to you in your life, right, have been in your imagination. Oh, what if this happens? What, bro, like nothing has ever happened like that unless you've literally gone without food. Like, you know, if you're watching this from an iPhone somewhere and you've got a roof over your head, you got running water, like, congratulations. You're better than 90% of people on this planet. You know what I mean? You're okay. So everything, all the thing that you're going to manifest and everything like that, it never comes to fruition. Think of it like this. You don't need all the answers when you start as well. I think a lot of it is analysis paralysis. I think we feel like we need this whole plan sorted out. Guys, we just rocked up here. Now we're vibing and we just turned the camera on. We figured out, we just picked a topic and we're just vibing. Do you know what I mean? Talking in public, like people are watching us, like yeah, it looks weird. Like, but you know, like whatever, you know, we're just one step at a time. Just, it's all going to make sense as you go, but you need to start swinging. Do you know what I mean? You just need to start swinging and hitting or just throwing whatever at the wall and see what sticks. So don't overthink it, guys. I think take it, like, in summing up, like with kind of what we've been talking about, guys, just take action. Stop thinking about it. Set a hard date and just like small baby steps every single day. You can change your reality, right? Don't ask too many people for their opinions, because if they're not where you want to be, don't really ask them, you know. If this is something that you've been feeling, don't have to explain yourself and just literally just go for it.
Yeah, that's right, man. The more people you ask, the more your judgment's going to be clouded.
Yeah.
Because you're allowing the way I got told this, I don't want to butcher it, but it was something like the way you see yourself is actually how you think other people see you. So you view yourself by, like, just say you meet, you know, your friends. How your friends see you, that's how you see yourself. Or how you think your friends see you is how you see yourself. You have to cut out all that judgment. And it's hard. I know it's very hard to know what to do. But like you said, if you're in that bubble all your life, you're never going to know. You have to remove yourself out of that environment, out of that situation, and get uncomfortable and look from the outside. Look from... So, like, look how you actually want your life to be without the opinion of others affecting that. Unless the opinions of someone tells you who is in a place where you actually want to be, that's a different story.
Otherwise,
that's
it's
when
void.
I take on.
It's void, yeah.
Yeah.
And look, guys, so after all of this or whatever, and like, don't get me wrong, people put their projected states on you. Sometimes they see the way that they view the world or whatever, and then they just put it on you and they tell you their limiting beliefs. So of course, that's why you should never ask anyone. But look, this is on the flip side. I could think of worse places to be in. Right now we're in Thailand. The weather's sitting by the pool, absolutely amazing, vibing with like-minded people, working on our dreams. Don't have the security, guys. This is the thing. We've literally got, we've gone out of our comfort zone. We're challenging ourselves. We're working on our dreams. The only thing that we don't have in this whole process, and that you will never have when you're doing this, is the security. Like, you know, you will never know until you really know. So right now we're just taking faith, guys. We're just blind faith, turning up every single day, taking these small baby steps, getting out of our own way, not listening to the fear and that backside of the brain, and just pushing through, you know. And as long as you can get around people like that, people that just kind of want to be better, it's as simple as that.
It reaffirms it when you put your environment to like a high vibrational area like Thailand, Bali, places like that. It reaffirms it and it makes you think, damn, this is actually possible. It shows you other people that have pulled it off. Yeah. And when you see someone who's actually done it, you reaffirm it in your mind. And it doesn't seem so out of reach anymore. Because you're like, what's really different between this guy and me? He just posts content, or he does this. He shows up every day. I can do that. I can actually do that. So that's when it happens for you.
All right, fellas, we're gonna 100%. We're gonna wrap it up, guys. This was just a short little, long-winded way of saying, guys, pick a date, get your shit sorted, come out and try something different. Do what you can't do as opposed to what you can do. Everything kind of starts on the other end of that comfort zone. So, like, just pick a date, get out of your own way, and I don't know, I guess we'll just see you over here, eh?
Yeah, have fun, and remember that whatever you got, you're not going to take it with you anyway, so you might as well have fun.
Peace. Anyway, catch you in the next one. I'll catch you later.